I broadly work in the water sector, mostly focused in India, trying to look at what are the recent changes happening in the larger landscape in the water sector itself. My primary interests are trying to look at what biophysical factors cause conflicts, including climate change, which exacerbates the water scarcity issue, conflicts issue. And I'm also interested in trying to look at what kind of policy drivers can be tested out to improve the situation on the ground in terms of access to water, availability of water. So most of my work is in the agricultural ecosystems, landscape, that transition between forest and the human habitats. I have a biophysical engineering background, but now I'm kind of stretching out a little bit into livelihood-related issue, policy-related issues. So that's broadly what I could describe of my work. I did a lot of hardcore engineering work for almost a decade, and I guess it wasn't exciting anymore. So I like working on people's problems as against problems which are very mechanistic. So the last 15 years I've been working in India, very much focused on the real issues on the ground. I mean, unlike the typical engineering research which happens at in a virtual space modeling and things like that, the recent problems that I have tried to look at is trying to find solutions, trying to understand what causes the problem. For example, the recent work that we did was trying to look at the causes behind floods, not just the climate causes, for example, the extreme rainfall events, also the institutional causes, for example, what went wrong in the governance system, and that made the floods make it much worse for the people. So much of my work has tried to inform the larger policy circle and the practitioners to understand both the biophysical factors behind the problems, and then also what could be potentially some policy interventions that could improve the situation for mostly the marginalized and the poorer communities on the ground. Yes, I mean, my interests are quite interdisciplinary in approach as well. So I try to bring in remote sensing, satellite imagery, classification, GIS, remote sensing technology, and then modeling skills, plus my understanding of the larger policy arena, and then also the analysis of how the systems work in a developing country context where it's driven by markets, driven by ambition, aspirations of people to do a variety of things to improve their livelihoods. So I try to look at these drivers and try to find out a space where you can actually change the way people practice agriculture or certain things which are land-based occupational avenues. Yeah.